Hey guys, Remy here with your third stimulus check update and stimulus package update. As you know, Joe Biden had a town hall last night where he talked about the stimulus package, about the virus, and about the minimum wage, and about so many other things. But today I want to focus on his thoughts about the stimulus package and his commitment to the $1.9 trillion deal. So we're going to listen into what he said. And first, I just want to show you what he said about when he thinks that we're going to get back to normal, because I know we all cannot wait to get back to normal, take off our masks, no social distancing, and going back to work in a normal way. So let's go ahead and listen in.
When do you think this pandemic is, when is it going to be done? When are we going to get back to normal?
Well, all the experts, all the committee that I put together, the leading researchers in the world, in the United States, are on this committee of mine, headed by Dr. Fauci and others. They tell me, be careful not to predict things that you don't know for certain what's going to happen, because then you'll be held accountable. I get that. But let me tell you what I think based on all that I've learned and all that I've studied and all that I think that I know. It's a high probability that the vaccinations that are available today and the new one, Johnson & Johnson, God willing, will prove to be useful, that with those vaccinations, the ability to continue to spread the disease is going to diminish considerably because of what they call herd immunity. And now they're saying somewhere around 70% of the people have to constitute. Some people said 50, 60, but a significant number have to be in a position where they have been vaccinated and or they've been through it and
have antibodies.
And so if that works that way, as my mother would say, with the grace of God and the goodwill of the neighbors, that by next Christmas, I think we'll be in a very different circumstance, God willing, than we are today. I think a year from now, when it's 22 below zero here, a year from now, I think that there'll be significantly fewer people having to be socially distanced, have to wear masks, etc. But we don't know. So I don't want to overpromise anything here. I told you when I ran and when I got elected, I will always level with you. To use Franklin Roosevelt's example, I'll shoot you, give it straight from the shoulder what I know and what I don't know. We don't know for certain, but it is highly unlikely that by the beginning of next year's traditional school year in September, we are not significantly better off than we are today. But it matters. It matters whether you continue to wear that mask. It matters whether you continue to socially distance. It matters whether you wash your hands with hot water. Those things matter. They matter. And that can save a lot of lives while we're getting to this point where we get to herd immunity.
You've made...
So yeah, I kind of agree with him, and I'm also a little bit optimistic about the summer, because I remember last summer the cases were much less and things looked a little bit better than last March and April and May. The June, July, August area seemed a little bit better, but we also didn't have the vaccine. So I think the combination of having 3 vaccines now, we have the Pfizer and the Moderna, and the Johnson & Johnson, I think hopefully, it'll be, like he said, hopefully it will be effective. So having 3 vaccines, millions of people are getting it, and the summertime, weather is better, there's less germs in the air, I guess, whatever it is in the summer, I'm hoping that will help us turn the corner. The thing with the vaccines, though, it kind of helps the person who has it, but I don't know if there's studies out there yet that say if the person who took the vaccine and gets the virus, they can be okay, but are they going to transmit it? Can they transmit the virus when they have it and they have the vaccine? I don't think that part is clear yet, but I really do hope, things do get better soon. And I mean, look at the numbers here. The numbers, this time was very bad. Just last month, we were doing 250, 300,000 cases a day, and we've been seeing the significant drop here all the way down to 55,000 cases, and with the 7 day average, about 85,000. Not bad at all. But the problem is the deaths, though, is not as the cases curve. Look at this. It's still up here, up high, 3,000, 1,000, 1,700 with the 7 day average of 2,800. So that doesn't look good, but, we're hoping it will turn the corner also and it will drop down. So let's continue with President Joe Biden.
You've made passing a COVID relief bill the focus of your first 100 days. Those on the right say the proposal's too big. Some on the left say it's not big enough. Are you committed to passing $1.9 trillion bill, or is that final number still up for negotiation?
I'm committed to pass. Look, here's some of you are probably economists or college professors or you teach it in school. This is the first time in my career, and as you can tell, I'm over 30, the first time in my career that there is a consensus among economists, left, right, and center, that is and including the IMF and in Europe, that the overwhelming consensus is in order to grow the economy a year, 2, 3, and 4 down the line, we can't spend too much. Now's the time we should be spending. Now's the time to go big. You may recall I managed the last experiment we had with.
I just want to say this is something that every single economist have said. Jerome Powell have said it many times. I've said it here on this channel so many times, that they're saying just spend the money now. Now is the time to spend as much as possible because of the historical low interest rates. So taking on debt now is great because the interest is so low, and the more you spend, it just means that the economy will recover faster and bigger and better. So let's hope they do it quickly.
Stimulus, and it was 800. No, I don't mean it that way, but it was $800 billion. We thought we needed more than that, and we think we did. It ended up working, but it slowed things up by about, and depending who you talk to, between 6 months and a year and a half. We can come back. We can come roaring back. It's estimated that by most economists, including Wall Street firms, as well as think tanks of political think tanks, left, right, and center, it is estimated that if we pass this bill alone, we'll create 7 million jobs this year. 7 million jobs this year, and so. The thing we haven't talked about, and I'm not going to go on because I want to hear your question, I apologize. We haven't talked about, I remember you and I talking during the campaign, and you had the former guy saying that, well, we're just going to open things up, and that's all we need to do. And we said, no, you got to deal with the disease before you deal with getting the economy going. Well, the fact is that the economy now has to be dealt with. And what is it? Look at all the people. You have over 10 million people unemployed. We need unemployment insurance. We need to make sure that, you have 40% of the children in America talk about food shortage. 60% of it. Did you ever think you'd see a day in Milwaukee? You'd see in the last 6 months people lining up in their automobiles for an hour or for as far as you could see to get a bag of food? This is the United States of America, for God's sake. We can't deal with that. We promised, look at all the people who are on the verge of being kicked out of their apartments because they cannot afford the rent. What happens when that happens? Look at all the mom and pop landlords that are in real trouble if we don't subsidize this in the meantime. Look at all the people who are on the verge of missing, and how many people have missed their last 2 mortgage payments and are able to be foreclosed on. That's why I took executive action to say they cannot be foreclosed on in the meantime. Because look at what the impact on the economy would be. You think it's bad now, let all that happen. Look at all the people who have lost their insurance. How many, I'm not asking for show of hands, how many of you had jobs with corporations or companies that provided health care, the COBRA health care? Well, guess what? The company goes under, and guess what? You lose your health insurance. Well, we should be making sure you're able to pay for that so that we keep people moving. So there's a lot. So I think bigger And the vast majority of the serious people say bigger is better now, not spending less.
All right, so yeah, I mean, he's completely committing to the $1.9 trillion deal. We just have to wait, to hear from Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema, the two Democrats they have so much power now because, like I said, the Senate needs every single Democrat on board in order to pass the stimulus package. And I have a feeling that they will. I mean, the whole thing about the $15 minimum wage, if the Senate parliamentarian says that it does follow the rules of the budget recon and it can pass and it will affect the federal budget, I don't think those two senators will will be in the way of passing a stimulus package. I think they will end up voting for it. That's just my opinion. We'll have to wait and see. Probably not next week because next week is when the House is supposed to vote and pass it. But maybe, the following week. The first 2 weeks of March will be huge in terms of the stimulus package. Now, yeah, and he said some things here. Imagine how the country will be without stimulus packages. No unemployment insurance, the $600 or the $300, or no $1,200 checks or no $600 checks, no extension of no eviction moratorium and extending it. This country would have been in a horrible, horrible, horrible shape. The 25 or 30 million people who are behind on rent, where would they be? Homeless right now? I mean, stimulus packages so far did really help a lot. I mean, I know we keep saying like we keep waiting for the $2,000, but just think of what situation could have been without any of those stimulus package. So I'm sure, the first two really helped a lot, but now we just need more help in order to get us over this and get moved back to normal. So that's all I have for you in today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you find it informative. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate every single one of you. Please hit the like button on the video, share this video with your friends and family, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and click that notifications bell to be notified whenever I publish new videos and new content for you. Also, make sure to check all the links in the description below for the Yara savings account. You open an account and deposit as little as $25. You'll get 100 tickets for a chance to win up to $10 million. And Webull Investing, you deposit $100, you get free stocks that could be worth up to $1,600. All the links are in the description below. Thank you again. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.